Tonight on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, I know that you might get a certain impression about the content of this film based on its title. And, well, you're probably going to feel disappointed. However, 2 of the victims did die when they were naked, so the title sort of fits. Tonight's movie, Naked, You Die.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. All hope is lost. Yes, all hope is lost. And before we get on with tonight's show, I must apologize for the difference in sound quality. I am using my new microphone. You can see it. It's attached here. It's a wireless mic hooked up straight to my video recording device. So, so my apologies for the sound differences. I'm probably not going to go through the rigmarole of extracting the audio out of the video to put it through a bunch of cleaning filters. I guess, if there's going to be background noise, it's going to be background noise. My apologies. Also, the volume may be different. I'm not sure. But, I just, it would be a lot of work to just take because first of all, the program that I use to strip the audio is very particular on the video types, and unfortunately I record in a video format that I would have to convert into a format that is compatible. Anyways, it's a lot of bullshit. So, my apologies. Sorry. Hopefully it's not too horrible, and I'll maybe figure something out in the future, but this is kind of like a temporary thing anyways. My old microphone died, and yeah, it's, things are just going perfect. Well, just another solid victory. Yep. So anyway, so tonight, I thought, what, before I end this, I want to say this year's, 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, it's become quite a bunch of years actually now. But before I end this installment of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, I need to go back to at least one more time to that lovely, lovely horror subgenre of the Italiano giallo. Yes, the giallo. And so tonight's movie we are going to review Naked, You Die. Naked, You Die. Oh yeah, man. With a name like that, woo, must be good, right? So let's get into it. So what is Naked, You Die about? Well, it starts off like most giallos start off with a murder. Yes, a beautiful young lady is in her bathroom taking a bath, and she is killed by a glove-wearing, knife-wielding maniac. And then she is stuffed into a travel chest, a travel trailer box. I don't know, for some of you who are younger, you might not know this, but sometimes when people travel, instead of just having like a suitcase, they have like this big box, this big case that they put a whole crap load of. Anyways, so that's what it is. She gets stuffed into there and is taken away to this very exclusive, upscale boarding school for the daughters of the rich and famous and the influential. Anyways, and so too the killer goes with her and then begins to dispatch the people in and around the boarding school in an effort to not only keep them from being found out, but also because this is a giallo for that tasty, tasty, tasty twist ending. Yes, so let's get to the scores, shall we? Violence and gore, we are giving this a 1 out of 5. Yeah, it's not very bloody and it's not very violent. Yes, there is death in here, but it is not very graphic. It is not, when I talk about things being a little bit tame, this movie is pretty tame. This is not a blood-soaked, blood-spattered, type of movie. And so, yeah, it's pretty tame, 1 out of 5. But let's get on to the shock value. The shock value is 1 out of 5. Yes, nothing there, the shock's kind of in the twist ending, but there's nothing really, jump scary or anything like shocking content wise. And so, yeah, it's pretty tame in that aspect too. There isn't those spectacular murder set pieces that you come to love from that are in other giallos. And so, yeah, it's kind of mild. So 1 out of 5. So let's get on to the plot. And the plot is 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. Actually, that's not too bad, especially, Italian giallos can be quite convoluted. The plots and the twists can be like completely nonsensical. It is a little predictable. I did kind of figure it out in a certain way, but there is enough in the ending that still added a little bit of surprise to the movie for me. And I also like the dynamic of there is one of the boarders, one of the students, I want to call her a student, who is sort of like Nancy Drewing it. She is taking it upon herself to investigate, and she really is doing her bit to figure out what's going on. And also, yeah, I guess it's also because she's sort of the bored rich girl and she likes these spy adventures and stuff like that. And apparently her father is like a secret agent or something like that. And so, she kind of has like these texts. She got these walkie-talkies. Anyways, I found her character to be very well done and kind of added a different sense to the movie, because usually giallos are kind of that fish out of water type of film where the person who you're following along with is sort of just like thrust into this situation. And sure, it's same with her, but generally in the giallos, it's usually an outsider, and so there's that sort of unfamiliarity and stuff like this. This place is their home base, and she's knows the people involved and all that stuff. So it does give it a different and fresh dynamic. Plus, she's a very capable woman, and I sometimes in giallos, the female protagonists can be a little helpless at times, a little just and she in this movie is definitely more proactive and not helpless and takes charge, and I like it. So 3 out of 5 for plot. Acting, 2.5 out of 5. It's average. It's average. You got some of the overacting. You've got some of the fine acting. It's Italian film, so foreign actors and stuff like that. I think it's fine. I think it's average for what it is. So 2.5 out of 5. Moving on to Nudity, and that is a 1. 1 out of 5. Wait, a movie called Naked You Die, and it's an Italian giallo. I don't know. I don't know anymore. So, first of all, to be fair, a lot of people who get murdered in this movie were naked at the time that they died. Not all of them, but a few. That being said, you don't really get to see much. It's very brief, and this is when you're thinking about the violence and the gore and the shock value, this movie is pretty tame in those situations. And this, when it comes to that nudity and sexual stuff, it's also pretty tame. In fact, I would say that this is probably a really good entry-level effort for people who want to get into giallos but don't want to go straight into the hardcore stuff. I think this is a good introduction for them. Also, it's more, you know, it's definitely horror, but it's also mystery, which giallos, they love to spread themselves around different genres and encapsulate all kinds of different genres. And so I think this one is definitely one that you can show people who might not want lots of violence and gore, or who doesn't like it to be too sleazy and too salacious. This one, I believe, is a really good one for people to watch. But also good for the connoisseur as myself, because it's just, you know, it's another giallo. Anyway, so 1 out of 5. Moving on to enjoyment factor, I'm going to give this a solid 3 out of 5. It has a good enough pace. Has enough narrative twists and turns. I liked some of the characters. I liked some of the storylines. The ending, though somewhat predictable, did have enough twist in it that I didn't see coming, that helped elevate it. Plus, it has a sense of humor. The ending after the ending is kind of funny and fun, and you know, it's an enjoyable film, and I was entertained by it, and it didn't necessarily need all that extra stuff to make it good, and the fact that it does it sort of is what sets it apart from the others. So yeah, there you have it, 3 out of 5. And my overall impression is also going to be a 3 out of 5. Naked You Die by Antonio Margheriti. Sento di musica, Margheriti. Margheriti, iti, I don't know. Anyways, but sorry, I'm just geez. Anyways, so 3 out of 5. And that averages out to a 2.1 out of 5, which is on the surface level not so great, but sometimes the average score will lie to you, because some of these averages will be greatly benefited by lots of blood, lots of tits, lots of head explosions and decapitations, and unfortunately, you don't get head explosions in this one. Anyways, so there you have it. Naked You Die. Naked You Die. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Did you like the movie? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Do you have anything to say? Anything at all? Comment about the microphone, the levels and stuff like that. I don't know. Anyways, but that ends another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. Yes, yes, yes. And I will hopefully see you next time with the final, final 2 episodes after this one. And hopefully I can get it finished before October. We'll see. Anyways, but until then, I hope you stay scary, internet. And remember, if you're in school, in any sort of situation, regular school, boarding school, summer school, camp school, whatever, traffic school, don't hate your teachers. Don't date your teachers. And also, if you're a teacher, don't date your students. Don't. Patience is a virtue. Wait till they graduate and shit like that. I mean, seriously, like, you just don't do it. You don't do it, guys. That's why I'm not a teacher. Because, I mean, honestly, I could be a teacher. Because, first of all, like, who? Who in their right mind? You know? Oh man, she's failing algebra or something. I don't know. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. No. I just say no. But I mean, like, you know, it wouldn't even come up when it comes to me. So actually, that makes me perfect candidate for a teacher. I am totally going to be able to ward off any type of attraction whatsoever, because, you know. Anyways, I'm done.